Alright, girls and boys, welcome back to the channel. Lady Nika in with last night's episode of Iyanla Fix My Life. It was Brandi and Jason Maxiell. Child, we got Jason and Brandi. They've been together 17 years, 8 of those as husband and wife. And it started in high school. They were best friends, sweethearts, whatever. So Iyanla meets with them and asks why they here. Brandi said to get help with their marriage, communication skills, and trust. They both agree that Brandi had trust issues with Jason, so Iyanla asked what did he do to violate her trust, and he said dishonesty, lying, and violating their vows, right? He said he first cheated in high school. He had Brandi and another girlfriend, and they both showed up on, I guess, a game night, and neither knew of the other one. Iyanla asked Brandi, was she hurt by that? And she said yes, because she never thought that he'd do that. She always felt safe. At that point, Iyanla said, hold up, I done forgot something. So she goes off and she comes back with this basket of Band-Aids and bandages. So when she comes back, she places a Band-Aid on Brandi's chest and forehead, symbolizing a time he hurt her. She went on to say that she stayed thinking that he changed. Iyanla said, oh, that's self-inflicted wound, and then places yet another Band-Aid on her. She went on to say that they were engaged, and, she found out she had ovarian cancer, and he was there for her. She married him because when she lost her hair, he lost his, too. He shaved his head. He took the time to come and see her and was truly supportive. So she married the man, right? Iyanla asked, what did they bring into the marriage baggage-wise? And Jason said not mentally stable to understand what marriage is and means. He'd only seen his grandparents, and to him they had a strong marriage. We learned that he was raised by his mom and didn't know his dad. He had a stepfather, however, but he never met his biological father. She asked, did he bring other women into the marriage? And he said yes. She asked early on. He replied again, yes. Iyanla begins to bandage Brandi's leg at that point. Then she explains why she's there. She says she's there to interrupt the pattern that they've had over the years. She says she don't have any investments there because to her this thing is done. Now, can they be rebuilt? She said absolutely. But would that be what's for the greater good of each person? That would be determined later on. She then separated them to talk to each person individually, give them a place where they could be safe and feel comfortable to speak their truth. She met with Jason first. Now, before we go any further, y'all, this show is this show is more work than 1 hour. I think more work was done in this, but they edited it out due to time constraints. So just know that, be aware that if you didn't watch the show, I'm going scene by scene to break this down for you. But it's at an accelerated it's at an accelerated rate. Damn, I can't talk. Due to edits. So she met with Jason first, and first of all, Jason almost mumbles. God, did y'all see that they had, the ones of you who saw the actual show, did y'all see how they had to do captions and things at certain time? Because he mumbles. He speaks so, you could just, it's barely audible. I'm like, dude, speak the hell up. I'm doing notes for this damn review. Shit. Anyway, she tells him that she sees a lot of detachment in him. And she also notices that how he tries to justify it. She says she don't see how he looks himself in the mirror knowing the pain that he has caused his wife, and asked if he loved self, and he said yes. And she said, what if you wrong? He said that would be a shocker to him. Now, they went on to talk about his grandparents. And if you guys watched it, remember, this is the only part, this is where we begin to see the emotional side to Jason Maxiell. When he was speaking of his grandparents and how his grandfather broke after his grandmother got sick and died. The first time since meeting Jason on this episode, we saw raw emotions. Then she asked, do he remember the first time that he cheated in high school? And he went on to say yes. The first time he cheated after high school, he said yes, it was the night before his wedding. She asked if he'd ever checked to see if he was a sex addict, and he said yes, and he's not. She went on to ask him, how many women have you slept with? And that man said, y'all, 41 women, meaning that 20 women every year since they got married, he cheated on her with. He gets 2 or 3 hours of just being away when he cheats. He don't know what he exactly trying to get away from, but that's his reasoning for doing it. She then goes to see Brandi and tell her, girl, you got some trouble on your hands. She laughing about it, but for real, for real. Now she begins to wrap more bandages on Brandi and asks if she thinks that the only problem is Jason cheating. And she said, no, it's the lying, which he does a lot, and the fear of losing her. And Iyanla was like, losing you? She said, how many times since marriage has he lied and dishonored her? And she said she felt like he had only cheated 8 times in the 8 years they've been married, but 17 years altogether. I said, girl. Iyanla asked, why do you want him? And she said, because I take marriage seriously. My vows, I meant, so she believes in it. So Iyanla said, so she's teaching her son how in a marriage a woman is to be disrespected and just stay and stick it out. No, I'm sorry about that, y'all. Sorry about that. I skipped ahead just then. Let me back that train up because I don't want you ever confused. She admits, yes, that he cheated, and she figured at some point that, he would just really stop doing that. Now, mind you guys, they talking, Iyanla steady applying bandages to her. She beginning to look like she in the process of being mummified for real. Brandi admits she was in denial the whole time. Iyanla moved on to speak of Brandi's father, and she said, which one? Apparently, Mama had a one-night stand and then went back to her man, and in the midst of all of this, she became pregnant and not knowing which man for sure was her child's father. In fact, Brandi didn't find out who he really was until she was like 27, 28. So the man who had raised her is actually her stepfather. The real biological father has been in her life, but they never knew for certain. So she surprised us by saying that her stepfather she had little respect for because he was abusive to her mother. So we see a part of Brandi and Jason's attraction to one another is they both have father issues. Iyanla said that she married what she grew up with. She said the first time Jason cheated, the first time Jason cheated, that was about Jason. Every time afterwards was about her. Brandi said that that's her son's father, and he looks up to him. Iyanla reminded her that you are the example your son is seeing right now. She asked how old was the mom when she had Brandi, and Brandi said her mom was 18. Iyanla said, I need to meet them. So the next scene took us to meeting the parents. Patricia is Jason's mother, and Terry is Brandi's mother. Now, Terry say Jason cheated on Brandi before, since, and during the marriage. Terry say Brandi looking for a man to love her, take care of her and the kid in-house, and because of her vows to Jason, she stays. Iyanla says, so she teaching her son how in a marriage a woman is supposed to be disrespected and just stick it out. Terry said she don't think that the child knows. Iyanla said, girl, come on now. Come on now. She thought that she thought the man that you said was her father wasn't, but she always felt like he probably wasn't her father, but you never had to tell her, meaning children are stupid, they feel things. She asked Terry when was the last time she had a real talk with Brandi, and she said recently when she found out that they were sleeping separate. She looks over at Patricia. Patricia says she knew about it because the grandson told her. Now, he 5. Iyanla asked Patricia to tell her about Jason's dad, and basically Miss Patricia said they wasn't together when they was a child, and she admits that Jason was, has never displayed any interest in his father. Iyanla said perhaps he is, and he's showing he's acting out through the sex. Patricia admitted that that could possibly be a reason for why Jason is like he is. Terry said Brandi grew up around her biological father but didn't know for sure. That's when she explained, look, I had a one-night stand. For years I wasn't really aware that the man that, I had that moment with was her father. Around 27, 28, we found out for sure. And from that, Iyanla pointed out to both the parents, they both got father issues here. Now, Iyanla asked both parents, what's their prayer? And Patricia said for her grandson to grow up well-rounded. Terry hit us with something different. She said if Jason and Brandi decide to stick together, my prayer is Jason controls his drinking. Now, that done shocked the hell out of Iyanla, because not once did Brandi or Jason mention he did any drinking at all. But we found out from both parents that he drinks quite a bit. Iyanla was thrown, and she asked Patricia, do you like her? Meaning Terry. She said she all right sometimes. And Terry said that she and Patricia all right now. It's always been about, the grandkid. And that's why when the grandkid is over at Terry's house, she calls Patricia over to be able to see the child, since she's not allowed at Brandi and Jason's home. And that threw Iyanla and me for a loop. We found out that Patricia Brandi barred Jason's mama from coming to the house to see her, and barred him from coming to see his mama. Patricia said Jason comes over once a year for her birthday, but he's not allowed to come to her house or to visit the grandfather. Iyanla said to Patricia, you're in a breakdown with your son and don't even know it. You his lifeline and he's not visiting you. Iyanla said they got to figure that one out, because it could be what he's taken out on Brandi, because she has restricted his being able to be around his grandfather and his mom. So then we go sit with Iyanla, Brandi, and Jason. Brandi has removed all of her bandages. She said she felt confined. Iyanla said, but that's what, that's how you walk around. You walk around looking all pretty and put together, and you deny your own wounds. That's why I had you like that. She asked Brandi, does Jason have a drinking problem? And she said yes. Iyanla said his mother and Brandi's mom feel he has a drinking problem too. He said he does not, but is aware that they feel that way. But he don't seem to see that there's nothing wrong with him having up to 4 beers a day. Iyanla says lying, cheating, and drinking, all those are tactics of a person who's trying to numb what they're going through, numb how they're feeling. They went into both of them being in denial. And she asked Jason, does Brandi know how many women he slept with? She said Brandi thinks it's only 8. She said, do you think it would matter? He said, yeah, if she knew the truth. So at that point, Brandi want to know why. I mean, how many has it been? Iyanla asked her, why do you want to know? It's just the number. She said, well, I just want to know. Iyanla said, well, more than 50. And Brandi got upset. She said, that's disgusting. So Iyanla asked her, more than 50 is disgusting. Why is it that you don't feel that almost 10 is not disgusting? She said that it is disgusting. Iyanla said, well, why don't you ask him why he does it? She, at this point, gets defensive and upset and started gathering her things, saying she don't want to know why, and she walked out, with Iyanla saying leaving will not help. We see Iyanla go up to her room, and, at first the door is locked. She's telling her, look, I can't help you with none of this if you shut me out. We about to break ground here. She said that Brandi basically been lying to herself, and while she lying to herself, she's being further hurt by Jason's actions, and she said the truth can heal her at this point. So Brandi does open the door, and Iyanla goes in, and of course she embraces her because she upset, and they talk about it a little bit. Brandi says she hurt and feels stupid. Iyanla said no. She keeps thinking that cheating is a violation of her, but she's still not getting the fact that he does that as a violation of himself. It just happened to flow over to her. She says she don't know. She knows that, and she's starting to understand why she accepts it. So she's beginning to get it, and Iyanla hugged her again. Then she goes to talk to Jason, who is so emotional. She has to take him into her arms and allow him to release a little bit. She said he needed a mama hug. She explains every time he lied, he abandoned himself. Every time he had these sexual acts, he abandons himself. Every time he drinks, he abandoned himself. Because this was never about the sex. This is about a punishment in a way. She has Jason write down what he's afraid of, and that's what he needs to do for the night. And she tells Brandi to do some reading and reflecting because the next exercise will be tough. So we move on to day 2, guys. Jason and Iyanla meet up. Jason has written down his fears. He's afraid of not seeing his grandfather, and he's important to him. He feels that he's not being heard, so he shuts down when he tries to talk to Brandi, and he uses sex, lies, and alcohol to help him shut down on her. Iyanla says she's going to teach them how to communicate with one another. She then meets with Brandi. Brandi says she feels a little bit better after praying, and she feels Jason can do better if he really wants to do better. It's within him to do it, right? Iyanla brings up him going to see the grandfather, and she says she never said that he couldn't see the grandfather. What she said is he can't take their child with them because she's very protective of him, and Jason's a drunk, and she do not want him around that. Iyanla explained that each time you tell a husband, when you say my child in his presence, it emasculates him. She finally said that she don't feel that the son is safe with the father. She said she is there to help them. And she's there to help Jason figure out what his situation is. Iyanla explained that you can't, if you don't trust him, how you going to be able to help him with anything or talk to him with any kind of sense if you're trying to, if you don't really trust him and he knows it. Every time you open your mouth to this man at this point, it feels like you're badgering him and trying to control him. And that's what she was giving off. Brandi said that she ain't really trying to feel that. She don't feel she controls Jason with the grandparent situation and his relationship with his son. She said she don't interfere with any of that. In fact, she got snappy with Iyanla, who said, okay, let's just go ask him and let him tell you for himself how he's feeling. So when Iyanla gets Jason in front of Brandi, she says, tell your wife how you feel. And immediately he said he feels like less than a man. He admits his wrongdoing, but he said he shouldn't feel this heavy burden and this weight on him. And he don't feel like he should feel that way, especially in his own home. That kind of shows that Brandi, that Iyanla was telling her the truth. You can't help him because you don't trust him, and the way you communicate how you feeling toward him comes off as emasculation and control. He shuts down on you because of that. She tells Brandi to say what you just heard him say, and she says he wants to talk to her, but she feels that she receives what he's saying and relays her reply, degrades him basically. In other words, she got it. She didn't want to get it, but she realized that you played a part too, ma'am, in the demise of this relationship, or the breakdown of it, because they still together. It ain't demised. Her delivery may be messed up, and she has been unaware of it the whole time, is what Iyanla was trying to explain to her. She needs to learn to use words to control. She has over time learned to use words to control and manipulate him, and he don't like that. She swears she don't manipulate, but him and Iyanla is telling her, yeah, you kind of do. And you do it in front of the kid. So she began to understand some of what her problem is. She tells Jason the reason she doesn't want him taking their son to see the great-grandfather, is because of Jason's drinking. Iyanla teaches her how to communicate that so that it doesn't come off like an attack at this man. Then she tells Brandi that she needs to figure out why she stayed. She suggested that they at least separate for 90 days for clarity. He admits he has issues he needs to work on, definitely with the drinking and with the infidelity. And from what I'm understanding at the end of this, it did say that they, have been working on they've been doing the work. They are still together and they are trying to improve. Now, this is what I got from this. This is what I see: two young people who got together when they were very, very young and had not experienced life at all, but they were in this heavily committed relationship. Now, while they getting in this heavily committed relationship, his star is rising. He going from being probably a football superstar to a college star to the NBA. With that came along a whole lot of bitches and some money. He feel like he can't never talk to her because every time he open up his mouth to her, she gonna tear him apart. So his way of dealing with her is to shut down. That's the drinking. I feel like he don't respect women because he never really seen but one man in his life respect women, and that's his grandfather. And even he fell apart after his woman. It was just a lot, y'all. It was just, oh my God, that was a whole lot. Both of them were broken in the beginning. And when you put two pieces of broke glass together, you do not make a whole new cup or whatever, salsa or whatever. You can't make a new dish out of two broken pieces from two different sets. And they tried to merge together, and now they have to learn how to make it in their marriage. She gonna have to learn how to talk to him with some respect if you gonna stay with him. But you need to find out what's going on inside of you that allowed you to keep staying with a man after he cheated on you as many times as he did. I hope that they are in a place of healing right about now. I hope that he has, they are in therapy to figure out what's going on. Learn how to communicate. First of all, find out what's wrong with you individually. Because you can't merge together and really be of any use to each other as long as y'all both are, broken individuals. Fix what's wrong with you first, then work on your marriage with your husband. They ain't giving up on each other. And I'm kind of glad about it, but at the same time, that just seemed like, to me, I don't know. I hope they can make it. I do. I hope that he gets the counseling to get, a hold of the drinking issues, because she right. He doing that to numb his pain. He's sleeping around with these women to hurt her feelings because he feel like she done hurt his feelings, and she emasculates him at times. But it all started because it was something broken in both of them in the first place. When he first cheated on her in high school, it should have been a wrap. I don't know. I guess him being there for her when she was going through the cancer thing, it made her feel like, he's that dude for me. So they merged together, and the infidelity just did not stop because there was an underlying reason within him as to why he was doing this. The cheating was never really about her. It was about him. And why she stayed and put up with it but became bitter as time goes on is crazy. But y'all let me know y'all thoughts and opinions on the child. I can't drive myself completely crazy dealing with this here. I honestly didn't even know these people still together, child. I thought she had left him after he had cheated or whatnot. The time we knew about it on the Basketball Wives, but apparently they are still together and trying to work this thing out. Y'all let me know what your thoughts and opinions are on tonight's episode or last night's episode. That was just one big ass miss, child. I don't understand. I understand. I can tell you one thing. If you broken, you can't get with nobody expecting them to fix you. They can't. And you damn sure can't be fixed if you get with somebody just as broken as you. And both of them clearly were from the beginning. But that's it. That's all. I'm not trying to hold y'all up in here long. I will see you guys tomorrow for Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. And thank you all for supporting and listening to the podcast today, child. I'll see y'all later. Peace.